Hey everybody, David Burns from BeeTeam6. Good to have you with us today to talk about beekeeping on my video this week. And boy, where did the nice weather go? We had nice weather back, in January and February and a little bit in March, but latter part of March and now into April, it's cooler here in Illinois. And we don't really have the kind of weather that we had a month ago. That's disappointing. It's about 52 degrees, just a hair above what bees forage at. Cluster. And so I've got a little bit of foraging going on today. What I want to talk to you about today is, what do you do with the entrance reducer? And how much do you open it in the spring, in the summer? What do you do with your entrance reducer? And I want to tell you, to be honest with you, I kind of just play it by ear from hive to hive. I may decide sometimes to open them larger if I think they need it. Sometimes I decide to close it off if I think that it's helpful. So it's just going to be hive to hive for me. But I want to show you, I haven't really got into my hives yet. Here in Illinois, it's not the kind of weather yet to get in there and do a bunch of stuff. So some of my hives are still wrapped up. I've taken some of the wrap off of some hives, and some of the hives, as you can see, are wrapped up. So let me talk a little bit about the entrance reducer. Now, remember, today the bees aren't foraging that much. It's about 52 degrees, so they're just a few degrees above cluster. We'll see a few bees going in and out, but certainly not like they have been or do on a warmer day. So this hive that I'm going to show you here, it's still got a winter bee kind on it that's probably all gone. Maybe a little food on there left, but I've reduced the entrance a little bit here where they're going in and out of the winter bee kind. So you see a few bees flying, but usually they're boiling in and out. Down here, I left this entrance reducer in this configuration all winter, but it was wrapped. I just took the wrap off. So in other words, see this hive here, they don't use the bottom entrance because they don't have a choice. I just wrapped it up with this insulation. And so again, this hive is only using their top insulation, and there's a lot of bees in this hive, but because it's cooler today, they're just not foraging much. So the same with this hive over here. You can see I've got the winter bee kind still on. They're using it as an entrance and going in and out there. But they're not using the bottom because there's no way to access the bottom. Now this hive, I've already put the feeding system on the top. That's why it's surrounded. I've showed you that before. Now I did leave this open. I did not wrap this hive, and it was left in this configuration here. The reason I did that was sheer neglect, that I should have really reduced it more for the winter. That's a space right here that's made for an entrance feeder. So you would put your entrance feeder right in here, and I just left it that way because I didn't want to mess with it. I intended to wrap it and cover that up, but I didn't get a chance to. But as you can see now, that's their only way to get in and out because I've got the feeding system on top. And so they're just using that as their entrance. But let me go inside and talk a little bit more with you about this. Okay, so what I want to show you today is the typical entrance reducer has a couple of settings, the wider one and then the smaller one right here. So you can simply put that in there and slip it under the deep box so that you can reduce it to the smallest setting like this, or you can rotate it around and set it to the largest setting that's on the reducer like that. And this is the largest setting here, see? Now, what I do sometimes when I install a package, since I'm feeding from the top, I will install a package like this, but I will block this off with grass for about, well, however long it takes them to open it up. So after a few days, they'll open that up themselves, moving the grass out of the way. When the hive starts going in and out a lot, like I can tell they're just piled in, trying to go in and out, I will come over here and I will slide this back and open it about maybe a ½ inch, a little bit more, so that it opens up a gap about halfway, as you can tell, about halfway this way, and they still have this opening. And that way they have a little more room to go in and out. It's not essential. Like I've said, bees can go in and out, little small openings in homes that I remove bees from, and they have a lot of stored honey, big brood area. But this is a way that you can give them a little more room without opening up the whole 14 3/4 inches across. This is just entirely way too much space. It allows too much room for yellow jackets, wasps, wax moths, small hive beetle. The guards have to protect 14 3/4 inches, and so by just doing this little technique like I'm showing you here, like this, the guard bees will not have to protect so much area. And again, if you're using an entrance feeder, you can do the same thing. You just simply have to put your feeder in here like this, and then you can always open this up on one side or close it, just however you want to do it. You can still put it to a small setting or the larger setting here, and then stagger it, just slant it a little bit, giving the bees more room. So I wanted to tell the BeeTeam6 members some alternative ways that you can use the reducers to give them a little bit more room. Now, obviously, let's say you want to move this hive to a different location. Use your entrance reducers if you want to. They don't close them entirely off, so you'll have to take something like duct tape or screen and poke it in here at night when all the bees are home, so that you can use this to block the bees off. If it's a little bit loose, you want them loose, but if this one, this will fall out. So you're going to have to find a way to maybe tack a little nail or put a little bit something better. But what I use sometimes, if the bees are just outside on your yard, you're not moving it. This is really good. You can move it easily. But moving it, it may fall out. I take screen and poke screen in a V shape so that it's kind of wedged in here, and that way you can move your hive. Okay, BeeTeam6, thanks for joining me today as we talk about entrance reducers. Hey, it's great to have you a part of BeeTeam6. I hope your week will go well with your bees. And give me a holler if you need anything. See you next time.